Thank you, Gilbert. Let us prepare for our Let us prepare for our invocation, please. If you will close your eyes, become quiet and still, and go within to that secret place. Divine Creator, with whom we are one, we invoke your presence into today's service, that indwelling, all-dwelling presence that's in each and every one of us. We're all here on one accord, and that's to be blessed by today's message. And as Scripture says, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. And as we hear today's message, we come with open hearts, open minds, so that the words of wisdom, knowledge, and truth will resonate with each and every one of us. That we will be uplifted, inspired, and empowered. So I bless and give thanks for everyone present here in the sanctuary, on Zoom, on the phone. And I bless and give thanks for all the participants in today's service. Musician, computer tech, ushers, greeters, practitioners, our messenger, Reverend June Clark. And since you all are in agreement with me, please join me in saying, and so it is, amen, amen, amen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Blessings to you. We are Miracle Center for Spiritual Living, located here at 2653 South Taylor Road, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. I am your pulpit assistant for today, Linda Jones, and I greet you in love. Blessings to you all. Turning to our bulletin now, August 13th, 2023. Our monthly theme, My Passion, My Purpose. Weekly topic, Percolating Your Passion with Purpose. Discover how to become a more deliberate creator, activating your purpose with your passion. The science part of Science of Mind offers valuable tools as we recognize the power of observation and focus. Our affirmation for today, I nurture my passion. It blends naturally with my purpose. I'll say that again. I nurture my passion. It blends naturally with my purpose. And let us say that together, please. I nurture my passion. It blends naturally with my purpose. Our monthly theme summary. This month, as we explore passion and purpose, we begin by identifying what their hidden, buried, or unexamined passions might be. Week 2 delves into revealing the connection between their passion and purpose as they cultivate the two. Summary of today's topic. This month, as we explore passion and purpose, we begin by encouraging people to identify their hidden, buried, or unexamined passions. Week 2 delves into first finding, then cultivating the connection between passion and purpose. Science of Mind point of view. First cause is creative. It expresses itself through us as we are the medium that spirit demonstrates in human form. As we create a divine mental mold, the universe responds with an equivalent physical manifestation. Activating our inner sense of joy becomes our purpose. The two are combined to benefit and even contribute to the expansion of the universe. We are a science-based teaching, as our name implies. There is a direct link in that what we think about, we bring about. And now we have a song.
Why, thank you, Mr. Eddie Watkins. It's been a while since we heard from Eddie. I found him, so we're going to hear some more. I miss him. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's a good and beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful day. Yes? Yes, it is. Well, today, our theme, as Linda, bless you, Linda.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you be our assistant.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
As she mentioned, as it is here, the theme for the month is about passion and purpose. And we delved into it a little bit last week. And it's a perfect setting for me this month as we move into September. So I'm going to be jumping all over this, jumping around in different places, talking about different things, and it all leads to passion and purpose. And the passion and the purpose, I'll start off with in September. On the back of your bulletin, it refers to a raffle on September 17th, and that is for our beautiful African artistic and depiction of, I don't know what tribe, of a beautiful African woman.
Maasai.
What is it?
Maasai.
Is it Osai?
Maasai.
Maasai, okay, a Maasai warrior, and that's going to be on the 17th of September, and we've been selling tickets for that for a while now, and those tickets are $5 a piece. And then the other purpose and passion, which I'm really trying to get ahead of the game here, and we are going to be having a fashion show here at Miracle Center. And we have the tickets ready today, and the whole month for me lends itself to be a, advertising executive for these events which are coming up in September. So as they say, save the date for both of these events, and let's do it. Let's do it with these two wonderful events. And so keep those in mind as we move through purpose and passion for this week's lesson and this month's focus. So the message begins, percolating your passion with purpose. Percolating. I don't drink coffee, but that's immediately what came to my mind. And I thought about, okay, I have to age myself a little bit. I thought about the way, was it my mother? I guess my mother used to make coffee. I'm sure it was my mother for my father, in this bottom container. And then there was and it had a circle, opening on the top. And then there was another container that was round that had little holes in the bottom of it. Some people are recognizing me here. and it had a piece of whatever, pie, goodness, a piece of metal or glass that went straight down into the other pot. And you poured water on that, I believe, and then you put the top on it. And then the water bubbled, and it went down and it went through into the other pot. But in that little rack, there was coffee. That was the coffee percolating. And when I saw percolating, and then when I saw this word, percolating, I said, okay, don't try and fake it like you know what percolating is. You better look it up. So I did. And in essence, it's what, again, like the purpose and the passion, it fits perfectly for what we are moving through these next 5 weeks it is now, I guess, before all this happens. We got the little machinery going. We got things that we're getting done. We're getting our flyers completed early this week. We got our tickets completed. And what's happening is I'm beginning to talk about it. Other people are beginning to talk about it. We actually got a call for someone who wanted tickets. And I said, mail us a check and we'll mail you the tickets, because I don't know who she was. So things are beginning to drip. So I think it's a perfect analogy, a perfect visual of what we want. And what we want is a successful cup of coffee. Now, that takes a lot for me to say. I said successful. I did not say good, because coffee and good taste to me are oxymoronic. I don't like coffee, but I do like advertising, and I do like letting you know that these two things are going to be spectacular. You're going to see a fashion show like you've never seen before by one of our local persons who is a designer. And all of this focuses on a passion, which is my passion, which is your passion, which is our passion. So going to the bulletin here, as Linda says, as we focus on our passion, the attention to it increases its magnitude. And when I looked up percolation, let me see, I have a paper here. It's a scientific word, and it comes from the Latin word percolare, which means to strain through. And that is the first example I gave of pouring water into this pot and having it sip through the coffee. And as it sips through whatever matter there is there, that there is something that expresses itself as it comes out. But it's not an easy process from the way it's described here. Percolation happens when liquid is strained through a filter, like when someone makes coffee. Drinking coffee can make you feel perky. Perky comes from the word percolate, to describing something that bubbles over. Percolation, a noun, is what happens when anything percolates. It's usually coffee, but chemists use percolation for all kinds of experiments. So now we know. Now we know from day to day, thought to thought, process to process, science of mind treatment. Got to relate to science of mind, how key that is in our lives, and how simple it is, and how useful it is. And it's what we do all the time. We percolate so that we can percolate and have a result from beginning a process, having it do its thing, having it work through itself, and creates something new. So I had a fun time learning a little bit of new vocabulary with this new word. Everything is energy. Back to the bulletin. Everything is energy, as quantum physics so aptly points out. And that explanation of the process of, in the reference on the computer, it was related to rock, a mountain area that is just hard rock. And as we can see, or as you can see, if you have traveled, take the Grand Canyon, for example, if you've seen it in real or if you've seen it in any form, it's a good example of the drip, drip, drip of the centuries that has reshaped solid rock into what exists as the Grand Canyon. And I guess I was there, I don't know, maybe 20, maybe 30 years ago. But I can guarantee you it does not look the same as it did when I saw it, because of the percolation of the drip, drip, drip to change something is exactly what Science of Mind treatment does. And it's what our lives are about. It's about us. I like the comparison of us being a mountain, because a mountain, to be granite, is to be strong. It holds something up. It supports something. It expresses beauty. And there are these drips of, let's basically call them life happening, going on, being, unfolding itself, renewing us, that happens every single second of our life. We percolate about a lot of things, some that we pay attention to, some that happen in spite of us, some that happen because of our focus on them, and we'll get into a little bit later about focus. So let's consider, again, everything is energy, as quantum physics so aptly points out. When we give our observation to anything in life, it can change the dynamics from wave to particle. And if you remember, it seems so phenomenal, gosh, how many years ago has it been, since What the Bleep came out. I can remember taking at least five people after seeing What the Bleep. And that was the big rave in Southern California, in the Science of Mind community. You got to see What the Bleep. What's the bleep? And that was very complicated, but yet explained beautifully and simply in that film. If you remember all the different little shapes that would bounce around, and if you haven't seen it, we have it in the library in here, and you can take it home and watch it and bring it back. But quantum physics is so much, should I say before Christ? Or well, there was nothing before God, but what exists today is the drip, drip, drip of the Christ consciousness upon every single thing that is going on in your life. They call it wave to particle. And that sounds very impressive. But if you don't use it, it is not going to be anything that's going to show up in your life. Or if it does, it's not going to be maybe how you want your life to be. From energy to matter. Energy does matter. What's the matter with you? What's the matter? And then you say, my matter is doing just fine. My matter is my life flowing perfectly. And then when the person that says, "What's the matter with you?" they probably don't understand what you're talking about because their consciousness is not attuned to what your consciousness is. And that's okay. And then one day something will happen and they'll say, "Well, now I know what the matter is." See? It's always there, but we don't always recognize it. We have many choices in what we direct our attention to, and often we just go along with a daily diet of news and social media that leads to a malnourished spirit. Malnourished spirit. That's a nice way of saying, wake up, look around you, see what the matter is, what's being told, how is it being told? Is that what you think? Is that accurate? Is that in need of taking time to look for another source, to get another opinion? Then maybe, just maybe, depends on how something struck you, then you may look at that matter, which is yourself, and you'll say, everything is just fine. I'm just fine. Therefore, everything is just fine. You have done a complete science of mind treatment on yourself. You've recognized that God is all there is. You recognize that you are one with God. You have researched and discovered through whatever means that it takes. You've talked with God through your mind, self, through your consciousness. You have spoken your word directly to God within this process about what it is that you are expecting to be and that you are. And then you are in a whole different state of mind, and you give thanks, and you let it go, and you move on to the next thing that comes up. Then you say, what's the matter? See how simple quantum physics is? See how beautiful your life is? Don't tell me, no buts. No buts. Get your butt out the way. No buts. Look at how good your life is. If you are within the sound of my voice, if you are sitting in this room, we're glorious. We are glorious, gloriously fit for the divine that we are as God expressing. As it says here, this can distract us. Mine's in bigger type here. We can distract us and override the vibrations that we are wanting to manifest. There's an expression, you don't know what you don't know. That's, I think that's a given. I think that's true. We don't often realize that sometimes. But the vibrations that you're getting within this, in this quantum physics world, are bombardments of negativity quite often. And it's from the radio, it's from the television, it's from the movies, it's from the advertisements that I get when I turn on my computer, and it's advertisements for at least 20 games with these funny-looking characters, and almost 99% of them each have a gun, which means that one is going to use the gun against the other. And they got funny, creepy little names. And the kids all know the names to these characters. I don't know the names to the characters, but I don't like them. and I don't want them to manifest. But that's what we're getting in so many different ways, those drip, drip, drips of negativity, of violence, of I'm going to be the drip that's going to separate, we'll just say it, that's going to separate this country so that this chunk that I want is going to be the dominant, and it's going to be the one that is not going to crack under anybody else's drip. It's going to be, the positive side of that is that there are enough of us that are aware, that are considering, what is that drip that just came along? I don't know, that's not what I want in my life. Regardless of what the subject matter is, if you recognize that there is something that is chipping away at the goodness, at the wholeness, at the life that you are living because that is what you want, do that interesting way of doing a treatment on yourself and move on. Move on. Just because something is dripping away at you does not mean that it has to be a negative influence on you. Open yourself up to the wonderment and the beauty and the all goodness of this life. Just because you're able to think, you're able to reason, you're able to know, you're able to make the choice to get up on a Sunday morning and come here. You get on Zoom. We have these wonderful choices within this quantum field. So pick the ones that are going to make your life the happiest, the most prosperous, the most joyful, the most healthy that you can get. And there's a whole range of other things in our lives that we want to make sure are on the positive side of life. By becoming aware of what we are giving our attention to, we make a conscious first step. The call to action is over here on another page, but it says, before getting out of bed, practice mindfulness and gratitude. Good idea to do that. What did they show the little children? They used to do this. I don't know if they still do. On their knees with their hands up in prayer and their heads bowed. And they say, now I lay me down to sleep. This would be a nice affirmation before you get in bed. And then when you awaken, you're giving praise for that drip that you got of a new and prosperous and wonderful life. On page 86 of the Science of Mind, I got a lot of different sources this morning. If you have the magazine, on page 86, I picked out, it says, Living My Passion, My Purpose. At the top it says a prayer. And the writer of this is Reverend Karen Fry. She's at this center in Dallas. And I'm going to read to you what she says at the top here. I invite you to speak this affirmation prayer out loud and with passion, with definite knowing that this is the truth. In this moment, right now, in this moment, right here and right now, there is a complete recognition, a deep awareness of the one life, one power, one presence, one love, that which is always, that which unfolds as perfection, moves as its greatest potentiality, and is casual as divine purpose. I had to think about that, as casual as divine purpose. And then I said, yes, because I was taught, I keep saying to people, science of mind is really simple. It just seems like it's complicated because we're so used to dogma and somebody else telling us what and how to do and when and why. But it has divine purpose. If you just move into it, just let it be, it's divine. So there are some affirmative statements here that relate to what I'm talking about today. So I'm taking the second one first, and I'd like you to repeat this after me. As I know that this one,
As I know that this one,
life is me.
life is me.
I know that I am
I know that I am
the I am.
the I am.
I am individualized, I am an individualized expression,
I am an individualized expression,
fully orbed as abundance,
fully orbed as abundance,
beauty,
beauty,
creativity,
creativity,
wholeness,
wholeness,
infinite intelligence,
infinite intelligence,
and boundless love.
and boundless love.
I live,
I live,
move, and have my being
move, and have my being
as this divine expression.
as this divine expression.
Should feel good. Should feel good. So moving on. And if you don't have the magazine, we may have a few left. I'm not sure if Arnie has any left, that he's the seller of these from the bookstore. The percolation of our passion begins when we allow our thoughts to build momentum around an idea. Now we're getting back around to the back page of the bulletin with the fashion show. Myself and Linda and Arnie and Juliet, it was all of us, I think it was, we went to a fashion show at the church where Arnie sings on Sundays. And we were very impressed. And I was so impressed that I said, we can do that. You know who the we is. All of us's, usins, we can do that. So I wrote up a proposal, which is what you do if you want to do something here at the church. You write up a proposal, you take it to the board of trustees. And the concept, my passion was, and I tell the board a lot of times, when we have an idea about raising money for the church, I would like it to be less costly to us and more profit. Now I looked at our beautiful flowers as I walked in the church, gladiolus, I believe they are. If you bought bulbs or seeds and you planted them, by now you ought to be seeing the results of what you spent your money for. And if you're here in church and you haven't planted any seeds, go out this door and there's some flowers that are about so tall, and their leaves are grown out and they're blooming. They're red and white and they're beautiful. So when we invest in ourselves, which represents us investing in the church, something beautiful happens. And those flowers out there are a reminder of how you can have a fundraiser and not have to expend more than you have come in. So when you get your tickets today, and let's see if it's on here. Okay. There's a production group that are sponsoring this fashion show. And I tell you this because I think it's important that you know that the more you get your passion and your percolation behind this project, multiply 20 times, that's the cost of the ticket, multiply 20 times 20, then multiply 20 times 10, then multiply 20 times 50, multiply 20 times 60, and multiply 20 times 70, I believe is what happened when Arnie rearranged the chairs for how they're going to sit for the fashion show. I believe it was 70 or 75 chairs in here. Multiply that times 20. That's clear profit. You hear me say clear? Clear profit from Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. So I guess I'm hawking our success. So that's what passion and having a passion about something can bring us to. Now, Lynette brought her project, the flowers, wonderful results. This next big project this year, I know enough of you are around that remember the prayer breakfast, big fundraiser. This is pure profit for the church. Just letting you know. And it's going to be wonderful. We're going to have a little trio session from Mr. Gilbert and a couple friends, worth $20. So all this is so spiritual. I know it's money, but it's our money, and it's going to bless us. So I'm going to get back to the reason why I'm including all of this, because it's a percolation of a passion. And it's that easy to have your dreams, your plans, your projects to come true, because it's drip by drip. Every $20 that turns over, every $5 that turns over for a ticket on that statue, every dollar that was put into our flower fundraiser, it's just growing. And this next year and a half, we're going to have the biggest party. We're going to be drinking apple cider, the sweet kind, not the vinegar, the sweet kind, the grape, whatever is non-alcoholic, here in the hall. And if a bunch of us want to go to somewhere that we can get the alcohol, we will, because we're going to celebrate burning up this mortgage. So this is what we're going to do. So if you're willing to have a drink with the minister, come on down, because I am ready. Some of you know that I have no problems with having a little joyful celebration. So, okay, let's get back here. People who think about red cars throughout the day often see more red cars than they normally would. Doesn't that happen every time you pick a color for your car? Mm-hmm. You think you're the only one. Very rarely do you see only one white car, or black, or red. I had a sky blue something or other Camry, and I thought I had the only one. And I did turn it back in, and I think the person, after I let the lease go, I think the only one is that car, because I see it around town, and I think that's the one I had. But that's very rare. So when they think of a particular individual, and the individual calls or texts, they demonstrate another result. How many times does that happen, that the phone rings and like that short span of time ago, and you answer it and you say, I was just thinking about you. I was just going to call you. Or you get something in the mail and the letter to mail to them is sitting on the table. That's the way it works. There's only one mind going on here, and it's just happening over and over and over again. So why not it be blessings? and joy and harmony and peace in your life to have happening over and over again. If you saw the movie Groundhog Day, someone was living through the same experience over and over, and it almost drove them crazy. Don't go crazy. Go happy. Think about stuff that is good and positive. So I'm going to go to page 296 and the second paragraph, and that's attraction of personality. Every business, every place, every person, everything has a certain mental atmosphere of its own. We are unique, divine expressions of God. Twins, identical twins. You probably saw a lot of twins this last weekend, Jerry, around Twinsburg. I saw some on TV. I'd never heard of that till I came here. There's a festival for people that are twins. But for me, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. But even identical twins to the human eye, if you know their traits or their preferences, something will give more leeway to which individual you're looking at. So has a certain mental atmosphere of its own. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we're so blessed to be unique. This atmosphere decides what is to be drawn to it. If something's coming at you, just slow down, sit down, and think about yourself, not about who it might be that's bugging you or what it might be that's bugging you. It's not the who or the what, it's the I am. Check in with the self. For instance, you never saw a successful man who went around with an atmosphere of failure. Successful people think about success. A successful man is filled with this subtle something which permeates everything that he does with an atmosphere of confidence and strength. There's an old story about Ernest Holmes, and someone asked him at some point why, where he lived in Los Angeles area and had we'll say a Cadillac at that time was kind of the big thing to have, why he did that. And I don't know the exact expression back, but why not? Why not? You have what you want. Have who you feel you want, do what you feel you want to be. And certainly you don't have to be the downside of anything. You can always be the upside. A nickel's more than a penny. But you get 5 pennies together and it's a nickel. Go figure. The man who says of himself, I have no personality with which to attract people. It's a very sad person. Has been laboring under a delusion. He needs to be disillusioned. He must be shown that there is but one person. That person is manifested through every living soul. It is the, capitalized, personality. It is complete. Isn't that wonderful? We're complete in every aspect of our life. Complete, whole, perfect, wonderful, beautiful, happy. Whatever positive word that you can use for yourself. And again, back to this call to action. Before getting out of bed, practice mindfulness and gratitude. My hip felt so much better this morning. And John, my knee was in good shape this morning. John and I have this knee connection. So we bless each other's knees because they don't tend to work quite right all the time. But you got, I'm so happy, so happy. So anyway, that's the personal stuff here. Often we evaluate purpose with some grandiose idea that we must save the planet. end world hunger or bring about peace. All of those are wonderful. And we do that every single moment we live within the principles of science of mind. We do that because there is change for someone, somewhere in this all-encompassing world. You may, hopefully, that you don't get into the down mouth. You see an awful lot of pictures of people, an awful lot of politicians, their mouth goes, the lips go down. Oh my goodness, how do your lips go down? It's because of ages of negativity in it. And then they want to buy cream that's supposed to bring it up. No, you got to be positive. You really do. There's a sentence in here from Howard Thurman. However, as Howard Thurman once stated, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what needs you. Let me see. Ask what makes you come alive and go and do it. Is he saying that it has to be huge? Or that it can be small? You know what? Whatever you do. There's no measurement. No measurement for what a smile can do for someone. If you've ever been, and I say this in all seriousness, I know we have all been in grief about something. And you go out with this shroud literally around your beingness, and you're out in public, and someone you don't know that you'll never see again, whatever, however all that works, and they smile at you. And I don't know about you, but that has happened for me. And your whole shroud thing just dissipates, even if it's for a few minutes. But when the shroud comes back or the issue comes back, it's not nearly as deep hurting, so to speak, as it was before someone gave you a smile. So it doesn't take a whole lot of training or effort or anything else to be blessed in this world. Let's see, I had a couple more on 86 on here. If you have the magazine, please try these out. Okay, let's repeat this one. I speak the ultimate word for me.
I speak the ultimate word for me.
Right here and right now.
Right here and right now.
I confidently declare and claim.
I confidently declare and claim.
That I unfold my highest potentiality.
That I unfold my highest potentiality.
And purpose.
And purpose.
I live in the flow of my passion.
I live in the flow of my passion.
Everything that lights me up.
Everything that lights me up.
Brings me joy.
Brings me joy.
And makes my heart sing.
And makes my heart sing.
From the rooftops.
From the rooftops.
This is the truth.
This is the truth.
And reality.
And reality.
Of my life right now.
Of my life right now.
See, those simple, you don't have to remember it word for word. I am, again, the short affirmation, I am, can conquer anything and everything, because it is a reminder that you are a divine expression of God. We're going to have another Eddie Watkins song, and this one's, he's having fun with this one. I'll share something with you about Eddie if you don't know him or don't know his music. He is a recovering person, and in Southern California, he was at a church, Science of Mind Church, and he began to write music from that experience. And he became the musical director for a very large church in Southern California, moved on to do many conferences for Science of Mind, moved to a church, one of the largest churches that we have in Seattle, Washington. And that was one of the first songs, I believe, that he wrote, that he made. And he is now on his own and does workshops and a very successful person. So he's a good example of I am the place where God is, and he's a good example of purpose and passion. And you can read about him on YouTube and hear some more of his music, and we'll have some more of his music at another time. So let's move into this blessed day and the purpose of why each of us are here. And that is because we are the divine messengers of God, first to ourselves, then to everyone who comes in contact with us, whether it is through just simply being in the same peripheral space, whether it is someone that you interact with by choice, whatever it is, I am, you are, we are divine expressions of God. And in the simplicity of this, we might as well say you're talking to yourself. If you want to talk to God, you're going to talk to yourself. What is it that you say at your most high and excited moments? What is it that you say at your deepest and saddest moments? What is it that brings you to the awareness that I've got to speak to God, without the realization that you always are? We simply speak to God through our thoughts that we don't carry out, the thoughts that we do carry out, and certainly the interaction that we have within our families, the people that we choose to include in our family of circle, acquaintances, people that you see. If you're looking out the window and somebody looks like they could use a good blessing, and you bless them and you keep on driving. It's a communication. It's an expression of God love to an individual. Know that we speak to God every single moment we take a breath. Because when we take that breath, your brain says, thank goodness you got it to me, because otherwise you wouldn't be getting any more. Just keep knowing that the presence of God is within you, and it resides in you, as you, through you. And what you bring out from your heart, what you bring out from your essence within to another person, consider it to be God to God. Therefore the kindness, therefore the love, therefore the harmony, therefore the good health, therefore all that is good will come right back to you. We are it. We don't have to look for somebody else to do it or be it. We are it. I am the I am. I bless this time together, this wonderful Sunday. Bless it knowing wherever you are to hear, wherever you are to take these words and contemplate them and bring them into your experience, personalize them, and certainly use them for your own benefit, and they will be for the benefit of all. I bless this, I give thanks, and I simply allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen and amen. So I bring back our Linda. She's going to go over the announcements.
Thank you, Reverend June. Let's give Reverend June a hand, please, for that beautiful message and that song. Thank you so much. So now we will prepare for our benediction. We'll just close our eyes, become centered, go within. Father, Mother God, I give thanks for today's service, for the message, percolating your passion with purpose. I give thanks for the messenger, Reverend June Clark. We know this message has truly been a blessing to each and every one of us. A blessing to our spirit, our minds, and our hearts. And we go forth using what we have learned from today's message, knowing that we are blessed. So as we leave this place, let's go find our passion, find our purpose, and percolate. Thank you. God bless you all. Our announcements. Reverend June already touched on a couple of these, but don't forget to listen to our podcast. We still have our podcast ongoing. Also, the discussion of keys to wisdom on Thursdays, 1:30, 2:30. We do have a quite lively discussion at times. Those classes, I certainly enjoy them. Also, our raffle of the African figurine, don't forget her. We still have tickets available for her at the office. They're $5 a piece. She's beautiful. Also, and I'm excited about this and looking forward to this, our special event, the fashion show, which will be live and in living color right here at Miracle Center on this stage platform, our runway, beautiful models, beautiful fashions. So I'm certainly looking forward to it. I know you all are too.
Oh, it's male, female, too.
Male, female? Okay, even better, yeah. That'll work. So, and how you pronounce this?
Azadi.
Azadi Unique. And the designer is Miguel Osborne. Fall, Afrocentric, and winter holiday attire. Fashion show with a pre-show jazz interlude. Now that should be good. That should be great. You said, I believe Gilbert is involved in that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And this is going to be on Saturday, September the 16th, 2023, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So the tickets are available now, as Reverend June stated, in the office. So please get your tickets, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Shout it from the rooftops that we are having a fashion show right here at Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. Is there anything else, any other announcements that I may have missed?
Wednesday is Arnie's birthday.
Oh, Wednesday is Arnie's birthday.
He's cooked.
So
today
he's
for everybody.
He's cooked some special food for all of us today in honor of his birthday. So please go into the dining hall and partake. You know it's going to be delicious as usual. Good old soul food for the soul. Okay, if there's nothing else, we can gather for the peace song. Thanks everyone for coming on Zoom, on the phone, here in the sanctuary, and God bless you all.